I think the campaign so far has been quite interesting. Obviously, it's been quite a bitter campaign. There have been a lot of argument and counter-argument from both sides, and obviously we had the tragic death of the MP Joe Cott only a week ago, so obviously people are still feeling quite raw about that. But I think the reason I wanted to do a quick Periscope on the issue is that actually I think it's really important that disabled people are given a voice in this campaign. We heard from a lot of different people, a lot of politicians, a lot of experts, a lot of celebrities. Only just today David Beckham came out to remain in the EU, and I really felt that we needed to make sure that disabled people's voices were heard within the campaign.
Right. Out of interest, as a viewer has just asked, who did you vote for in the last general election?
In the last general election, well, I think elections are very different because they're about party politics, and I think the interesting thing about the EU referendum is that actually it transcends party politics, and we've seen great rivals like David Cameron and Jeremy Corbyn actually working together to actually get that Brittany better, Brittany stronger, Brittany more connected to the world if we stay within the EU. And I think that what's important here, that it's not about individual party politics, it's actually about, again, what do we want our country to be? Do we want to be a little island isolated from the rest of the world, or do we actually want to be part of a stronger, greater community? Obviously the EU has got some weaknesses, we all realise that. However, the EU has also got a lot of strength too. It actually protected our human rights, it actually enabled disabled people to live independently, it enabled part-time people to get the same employment like as full-time people. All these things may not have come about if we hadn't been within the EU. And it isn't about the EU telling us what we should or shouldn't do. It isn't about the EU just protecting ordinary people's rights, that the government can't just decide on a whim that they're going to, for instance, repeal the Human Rights Act, which certain government ministers have actually talked about. So that's what we're talking about here. To me, some of the economic and some of the immigration that is not that important. What's important to me is that our human rights and our civil rights are protected in the democratic society. I think it's about being part of a bigger thing, that whole say the kind of some of the part more than the part alone. And I think that's what it's about. It's about working together. You know, I am British, I'm proud to be British, but I'm also proud to be European. I'm also proud to be a citizen of the world. You know, I think we should work with countries all over the world, but it does make sense given our proximity to places like France and Germany and Spain to work particularly closely with them, because so many issues such as climate change, such as terrorism, such as security are actually intertwined, and that we can't just deal with them on an individual nation basis. We do actually have to deal with them, you know, together, because it's only by together and all working together that we're going to make the world a safer and more diverse place. and that's really important that, we are British, but also we're welcoming of people from other nationalities who have a range of different skills. We need, particularly in social care and health, which I work in mainly, it's really important that we have people from the EU coming over to support our health system. In our local hospital, over 10% of the hospital staff actually come from other EU countries other than Britain, and that's really great that they're willing to come over here to work hard and to support the people of Britain when they need it, when they need hospital treatment, when they need care, when they need support to live independently in the community. All these things can't be done by just the British alone. We need to work with other EU countries in order for that to happen. There's a lot of very committed people working within the European Union. We have particular contact with one of our MEPs from the UK, Richard Howard, who has talked very passionately about how disabled people's rights are protected by being in the EU. The idea that it is just a bunch of kind of upper class bureaucrats sitting in Brussels not doing anything, and actually totally wrong. Obviously they're flawed with the EU. I think we would all admit that. But actually, there are a lot of committed people, and just like in the UK, we have found that people have actually realised that actually members of Parliament are human beings with feeling, with emotion, with great belief in great causes. Well, actually there's a lot of members of the European Parliament who are just like the MP in the country. They may not be as well known, but actually they're doing an important job to actually enable the European Union to actually be a great part of the international community, and by working together we can enable that to happen. I think disabled people really think it's important, firstly, that we recognise that all disabled people have human rights. In different countries, some disabled people are able to live independently. In other countries, disabled people are still living in institutions and in care homes. We would like to see much more empathy from both the European Union and our own government in actually dealing with the issue and making sure that disabled people do have the right to live independently just like everyone else. I think all I would say to people is think very carefully about how you're going to vote on Thursday. It is really important, not just for us, but for young disabled people who are growing up, who maybe don't realise how hard that we have had to fight for our right to live independently, who don't know the horror of disabled people being locked up in care homes for almost all their life. So I would say make sure you think about the young disabled people and what they would want, and make sure that the right that we have fought so hard for over the last 30 years are not eroded in any way by leaving the EU.